Hello and welcome to Comfy Cozy Up. So today I'm going to be sharing books that I've gotten signed, as well as new books that I picked up at Brooklyn Book Festival. So if you haven't seen my vlog, please go check it out. I also have a blog post where I talked about things that I wasn't able to capture on video. So yes, but before I do that, guys, this is the itinerary. This is where everything is. We're talking about where the panels, where the vendors, the publishers, everything is in here. And so this tells you there was a lot going on, and I was able to get to the ones that I thought were the most important to me, although I was a little bummed out I didn't get to do a lot more. But there's so much that you just can't do it all, and I tried. Oh, please believe I tried. But I am going to basically talk about things that I was able to do, authors I was able to see. So I was able to get Patsy signed by Dennis-benn, and I went to her panel. So if you watch the video, you will see bits and pieces of what I was able to capture at her panel, which I thought was really really good. There's another author that was there. I don't remember his name, but go watch it, and definitely want to pick up his memoir because I thought the stories that he was reading from it sounds really interesting. So yeah, so then I also had to, it was a must because I've never seen this author. He is one of my favorite authors of all time. So I was able to get the Marlon James. So anyway, these books here, guys. So anyway, what was funny is when I pulled out these books, his reaction was just like priceless, and I had no one to capture that moment. There was no one to record it, so I was so bummed out. But most people in the line either had Black Leopard, Red Wolf, or they had A Brief History of Seven Killing. So most people don't even know this book. But this is his first novel, so if you haven't read it, you should read it. But I was so into it. I basically I took the adventure to tell him, you know, how much I really love the Book of Night Women, and how, you know, his writings, and how to continue and give me more, you know. So yeah, he was awesome. The next one I met, let me be frank with you guys, when the man walked in, I knew it had to be him because he was the only black person on the panel. So, but when he walked in, I was like, oh. I was like, whoa. Tall, handsome, Chigozie Obioma, the author of An Orchestra of Minority. I have a crush on this man. Like, I couldn't stop staring at him. I was just eating up all his words. I just was like, yes. When he signed my book, I was just staring. I was that kind of fan because I thought he was so attractive. So yeah, guys, my first like author crush. I don't think I've ever had any crush on none of the authors I've met. Like, I've loved their work, but not like crush like I had on this one. But anyway, so then I'm going to talk about the Caribbean books now. I purchased 5. The first one I didn't purchase there. I purchased long like months ago. But I was happy to meet her, which is Olive Senior. And if you watch the vlog, you'll see her. She is a gem. I loved her. How, you know, she really dropped some history and in the panel that she was on, and I loved it. So I had to get her to sign this one. And then the books that are that I purchased Now and After by Anton Nibbit. So he is a Trinidadian author, and he read a portion of the story that talked about religion. And the reason why it was important in the story is because he talked about slavery days when certain religion that had shouting wasn't allowed. You know, we're talking like Baptist, Pentecostal, because the shouting and the way they worship was too similar to a few African religion, and those were forbidden. So he read something and said, ooh, definitely want to read this. And it's just a short one, so, you know, another Trinidadian on my list. for like my Caribbean reads. You know, the last 6 months, that's what I've been doing, trying to read at least one or two Caribbean author a month. The next one is a romance, and I was like, yes! And it's called Hurricane of the Heart, and this is from an author. I believe she's from the Dominica. So this is Dominica, not the Republic, guys. Dominica. And what I loved is how what the story's about. That's what really got me. It literally is about a hurricane. So basically, the guy in here is American. He went to Dominica for a wedding, and the wedding was for his best friend, and he was the best man at the wedding. And basically, there's a hurricane coming, and they moved the wedding up, and right as the wedding was over, they literally was getting all the people off the island because the hurricane was going to be a direct hit. But he disappeared. So I'm only on chapter 4, so I'm not sure where the hell he disappeared to, but everybody left the island but him. So now he's stuck on an island with locals. And I don't know how badly the hurricane's gonna damage the island, but I'm looking forward to reading it and how the romance gonna blossom between him and one of the women that was a part of planning the wedding at the resort they were at. So yeah, I'm here for this. I'm gonna continue reading this and let you know how it is. The next one is called Musical Youth, and yeah, you know, no, wasn't the group name Musical Youth? When I sing Pastor Dutchy, I might be right. So if y'all know the song. But anyway, I picked this up because it's musical. It's Caribbean. You know, there's always a story, something about somebody chasing the musical life in Ireland. But in this case, you have a girl. She's like very good on guitar, and she met a guy who's also have a passion for music, and see how they bond and what complicated them from some kind of romance blossoming. We'll see. But I'm not sure what the age group is because it doesn't say, but I'm assuming they're maybe young adult. I don't know. We'll see. And then the next book is definitely a young adult book. He was at the event as well. He signed the book. This is a Trinidadian author, and what I liked about his story is that he talked about Mermaid, which back in the days originally weren't called Mermaid, which I know very little of pre-Disney era, because I guess Disney's the one that started calling them Mermaid, but prior to Disney it was called Mermaid. But so I like a little history on that. But this one I like because it had it's Caribbean, and I don't read a lot of YA, and it had mermaids. So I was like, you know what, let me add this to you know, to my list. And whenever we do, like you know, when February comes around, they always ask, oh, just a children's book that's such and such, and I never have one because I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, I got one now. So the next book is also way out of my comfort zone because I don't read, like I said, I read a lot of these genre. But what got me was the picture. Like, I was like, I don't care what this book about. I just wanted it because of the cover and because I have a thing for machete. I know that sounds weird, but yeah, when I was in Jamaica, I was taking pictures of people with machete, men with machete. Some were family members, some were not. I just have a thing for machete in a man's hand. I don't know. Call me crazy. But then look at the cover, guys. Look at the cover. My ring lights, it's messing it up. But look at the cover, guys. Look at him protecting the woman. He got machete in his hand. I was like, what? I was here for this one. So what I get is he is what you call good and bad. He is not quite human, and he's a protector on the island, and something is coming on the island that is not human either, and he's trying to protect us. That's what I get from this. I'm probably wrong, but the synopsis is giving me a whole bunch of pre-colonial day. And the author is Trinidadian. There's a lot of Trinidadian author books I noticed. So I was liking this. But the author is Trinidadian, and it's also going to be added to my list of Caribbean. And this is one of those books where I read too many of one genre and I want something completely different. I'll pick this up. So yeah. And then the other books I got, I didn't pay for. And this one is about Mighty Sparrow. And he is a Calypso King. So if you're Caribbean, you definitely know him. You just, it's no way you not know who this man is. But I thought this was interesting. And this might be one of the books I read for nonfiction November. And what I liked is it had all, you know, pictures and stuff in there that he took. Now the author is not Caribbean, because when I was reading up on the author, he's not Caribbean. He's from Toronto, and he moved to, no, he's a native of Los Angeles, and then he went to Toronto, and then got like influenced by the Caribbean scene in Toronto, and he made him want to write about him. So he actually went to Trinidad and was doing his research about him. So I thought that was interesting. He also changed his name, because that's not his name. He changed him to an African name, but they do put in a bracket what his birth name was. So I thought it was interesting. So I'm definitely going to read this, and you know. And the same author, he has a short story collection, and I'm going to read this. I believe there's 1, 2, 3, 4... I think it's three short novellas and 2 short stories. So yeah, so there's 5 in here. So I'm gonna read this and let you know how it is. And I get an impression that, you know, he really have this Caribbean love and inspired his writing. So yeah, I'm gonna pick this one up. And then the other one, completely different. It's not Caribbean, but it's called Autopsy of a Boring Wife, and it's supposed to be comedy. So I got this from what are they called, Groundwood Books. They were out there, and they, you know, it was at the end of the night, end of the day. A lot of people were packing up, and I was able to get this for free. I didn't pay for it. So I'm definitely gonna read it because it says comedy, and I like quirky characters that's gonna make me laugh. As long as she's not completely stupid, I'm gonna laugh. But it, you know, it looks like a woman whose husbands, you know, want to leave her or whatever. And we know some books like that, the women can you either love the direction the women take to deal with it, or you kind of like, what the hell's wrong with them kind of reaction. So we'll see. And then I got the smallest book I've ever gotten, and Arms from the Sea, guys. This is a book. It's a novel. I was like, okay. And it has actually blurbs in the back. So this is one of those I just throw in my bag if I'm going somewhere and I just need something to read, and it's quick. It doesn't tell me much about what the book is about, to be honest with you. It says, like men, gods have dreams. I have no idea. So it seemed like an earthly book. I think it's supposed to have some kind of save our earth message. That's what I'm getting from this. We'll see. Don't know. But I'm gonna go in there blind and read it and tell you if it was if any good. So I'm gonna end it here, guys. This is all I have, but what I would say is please watch my vlog, and let you know, like, comment, share, let people know about this festival. I do like the size of it right now because I love the panels, how intimate they are and small. But it is also one of those book festivals that I appreciate because of all these bigger and well-known, and some small as well, Black authors that do show up to these events. Because if you go to other book festival, you literally have a sea of everything but Black authors. You know, BookCon was one of those examples where I've only known of 3 Black authors that was there, and other than that, they weren't. So with that said, this is one of those book festival that has everyone. It is very diverse. We're talking diverse on the level of authors that are not only Black. You have white authors, you have Asian authors, you have Spanish authors, you have every genre you can think of. You have authors that are very famous, and then you got authors that are not. A lot of the panel, they tend to mix it up. So you will have 4 authors, and you have maybe 2 of them that are very mainstream, and 2 are maybe independent or don't have a large following, but it gives them opportunity to be seen and heard with authors that are much more established. And I like how they did that. That was really clever. And they touch on every topic. They're not afraid to touch on sexuality and on family, on parenting, and on dealing with books that talks about history and myth and all those things that they do on these panel. It's very interesting, and let me tell you, it is a volunteer situation. It is free for the public, and so these authors that show up, they show up because they want to be there. So it makes it even more special because you know they're not being paid, that they feel they need to come even though they don't want to come. These are ones that they really like Brooklyn Book Festival, and they show up all the time. There's a different authors every year. I really would have loved to see Jacqueline Woodson this year, but she was there last year, but this year she wasn't there. The Water Dancer, that's the author's name, forgive me guys, it's like the biggest book right now, you know, Oprah done stamp it. He was there for the next day, because they had an event that Monday in Brooklyn, which I wasn't able to attend because I had to work. But if you think about it, it's just Jacqueline Woodson that had a new release that wasn't there, and Colson Whitehead that wasn't there this year, but they've been there. So you know, so again, it's a book festival that I really enjoy, and I'm a big supporter of it, and I take advantage of all the workshops and all the smaller events leading up to the big day. So I get a different experience than some people who just go just to walk around and collect books. I literally take advantage of all their panel, all their events, and 90% of the events was free. It was one event that I paid, and I paid $10, and that was a Caribbean event, but guys, I got rum, I got food, so I can't complain because I did get something for my money, and it was unlimited. I mean, you could drink till you fall out at this event. It wasn't like a cut-off amount of liquor or food. You could eat and drink until you're content. So I did get my $10 worth, so I didn't feel any way about that. But the other events, they were all free. So anyway, and those free events also had food and drinks. So yeah, you kind of can't lose. But anyway, enough of this. Go watch my videos, go check out my blog posts, and thanks for watching. Bye.